I'm going to repeat Michael's question. Hello, Adam. What are your thoughts on composing guitar solos versus improvising guitar solos, and how to practice each of those skills? Does it differ for singer-songwriter tunes versus blues tunes? I don't have a one-size-fits-all answer for this. It's a really good question, but I don't have an answer that will be the right answer all the time. One thing that's different between a singer-songwriter situation versus a blues situation is that usually when I'm playing with a singer-songwriter, or when I'm doing my own gig where I am the singer-songwriter, there's a real clear melody to the song, and that could really inform the guitar solo that I play. So even though I might not compose a solo per se in a singer-songwriter situation, I might play a solo that takes inspiration from the vocal melody over whichever section the solo is over. Like if the solo is on a verse, I might paraphrase the verse, or if it's over the chorus, and so on. Sometimes there's a section in the song where the guitar solo happens that's not any of those things that we've heard before. It's a whole other section. So there is a different situation where you really have to play something melodic. Also, in a singer-songwriter situation, it can be nice to play melodically, even if you don't play the melody of the song per se. The singer is singing something melodic, presumably. And when you go to take a solo, you can either, play that same game. I don't mean game like, oh, music is as a game, but you know what I mean? Like, you can think like a songwriter, think like a composer when you play your solo. That's a nice thing to do. Also, sometimes the whole reason that the singer-songwriter wants to have a guitar player there in the first place is to be a foil. So they don't want you to be playing melodies that are like what they do. They want you to do something totally different, and maybe something exciting, something, electric guitar is a thing. It's not everybody thinks of the electric guitar as being, vocal like, or, lyrical. So you really have to read the room. Also, on any given gig, from song to song, you might make different choices. Whereas all of that is singer-songwriter context. In a blues, quite often the blues melodies aren't quite as, melodic. Like, I mean, they are melodic, but it's a different way of being melodic. I think blues melodies have more to do with the structure of the blues, the 12-bar blues, where there's sort of a, you play a theme and then you play that same theme again, like a 4-bar phrase, play the 4-bar phrase again, and then you do something different. That's how blues songs are often constructed. So you can do that in your solo. Really, to answer your question, Michael, of how you would make those choices is really just personal choice and reading the room, and see how it goes. But how you would practice any of that stuff, if I wanted to, say, adhere to the vocal melody, then I would just do that. I would learn whatever song we were doing, I would learn the vocal melody on the guitar and play it enough times, not at band practice, not on stage, not yet. At home, play that melody, spend some time with it. See if you can do little things that make it feel like you're being yourself in your version of that melody. So that, like, so for example, if the melody you were playing, I'm trying to think of just something really simple. If you were playing, Twinkle Twinkle in C, so the singer sang it pretty straight, and then the melody would be, and so on. And so you could just practice that by pushing the time back and forth a little bit, like 2, 3, 4. Something like that. So just enough variation to make it your own, however you want to do that. So I would practice that, not just a little, but a lot. Like, you could spend a whole practice session just doing it in different registers, doing it different techniques, maybe sometimes focusing on bending, sometimes focusing on sliding, sometimes playing it really straight. If you want to do something totally different, then you really have to practice thinking in opposites. Like, try to think of that vocal melody as a character, as the protagonist in the story, and then you come in and you sort of have to be the bad guy, or that character. And so then I would just think in terms of energetically where I could go, and so on. And then in blues, gosh, so much of blues is about kind of the language of the blues. Gosh, I'll stop here, Michael. I hope that's enough. I don't want to take up the whole time here with that, but it's a great question, and one I'll keep thinking about. Maybe that's something I can do a thought out lesson on here on YouTube, or maybe on my Patreon. Super important question. I don't have a pat answer in my back pocket.